Hey guys, thank you so much, of course, for keeping it beautifully flawed. And it's your girl RB back with another video. Now this video is too long overdue, and so to make it up to you guys, I'm going to be doing a two-part series. The first part I will be focusing solely on the eyes, and of course the second part will be all about the foundation. All right, so the reason I'm doing this, we do have some new subs on board. Hey guys, and some I've met at my workplace, I will say that much, and so I've decided to dedicate to you guys a two-part series. So just saying, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. Hit that subscription button and also that bell notification so you can be notified of every and all that I do here. And please leave me a like, a comment, and of course, if you can go ahead and share as well. Now we're gonna jump straight on into it, and I promise to make it as detailed as possible. Now, no holding you guys up any longer. Go straight on in and get this thing started. Okay, so brows are already done, and I'll just soap brows. Okay, so I will be using Absolute New York's Radiant Cover, and it's in the shade medium neutral. If I get it, getting it right. Okay, and I will be doing my eyes. So yeah, I have been like so missing. I have been missing, and I miss you guys, and I hope you guys have missed me. And I promise to make it worth your time. So as you guys had seen, I'm using the Absolute New York's concealer. It's a lightening and a brightening concealer, but I really like it. A friend of mine recommended it, that it was really good as it dries down, really matted. So I used on my brows soap, literally guys, that Pear Soap. I've been using it for years, but I sort of kind of stopped using it, and then I saw this soap trend coming in, and I was like, the wax trend coming in, and I decided to just go back to the olden days. And so I decided to just use my Pear Soap. I think I need to do something on that to literally show you guys what I'm doing. So I use it, combed my brows in place with my spoolie, and it kept my brows up. So this palette is the James Charles times Morphe times James Charles palette, and those two shades are the only two shades that I will be using. I'm using a flat shadow brush, a flat blending brush, and I'm just packing the shade in directly in my crease. I don't want it to really blend out or to be too light, and so that is the reason I'm actually packing the shade in my crease. That second shade, which is like a lighter orange, I'm going to be going directly on slightly a bit above the first shade, and this is to blend it out. Now whatever shade gets onto your first shade, do not be dismayed, do not be discouraged, don't think you're doing anything wrong. It's just a part of the process. All right, so you can just go back in like you'll see me doing, to not lose the color that I laid on first, and also to make sure that color stays rich.
As stated before, this is me going back into the first shadow to make sure I
basically rid myself of that yellow, that light orange that came down onto the first shade, and I'll just be going back and forth. I keep doing this until I get the perfect blend, and I keep doing it so I don't lose any of my shadows that I lay down. So taking a fluffier brush, I'm going to be going I'm going to go directly where both shadows meet. Alright, and I'm just making sure there's no harsh line there. And I also came to the front of it to make sure I soften the very front of the shadow. Now I'm using my micellar water alongside my cotton swab, and this is a good way of getting your crease to carve in the fashion or in the shape that you want to have it carved or have it shaped. So you're gonna just get yourself your micellar water, your cotton swab as I'm doing here, and you're just gonna wet it as is expected, and you're gonna take your time and carve your shape out. The beauty about the micellar water, you don't need to go back in. I don't go back in with a wipe. I just use the micellar water and it breaks down the product and removes it totally. There is also the other option of using Vaseline, or let me just say petroleum jelly. You're not limited to the brand Vaseline. You can go ahead and use petroleum jelly, whether it be some of your baby's jelly. I'm not confessing, but hey, use some of your baby's jelly, whatever petroleum jelly that you have, you go ahead and you use that. Alright, so with my clean lid, I'm using the same concealer, and I'm just basically going over what I'd already carved out, just filling in that space. Might I also add, guys, you do not need to rush this part. Alright, the advice that I will be giving to you is this: it is better to take your time when doing anything as it relates to cut crease than rush it. It's not a race, it is you just wanting to get a perfectly clean cut crease. blank space. There too is another option which I did not use, where you just go ahead with your concealer and you just go ahead and carve out your cut crease. The reason I chose not to do that is because if there's any orange from my shadows that that would have been on my lid, I don't want it messing with the color of my concealer, because doing so it's going to basically muck or change the shade or interfere with my eyeshadow, and my eyeshadow is going to be a very light one. Alright, and so because of this, I wanted to make sure I had a very clean lid working with. Now the shade that I'm laying down, it's a loose pigment. It has a sort of an iridescent look to it. It looks rather light gold, but on camera it's picking up a bit silvery, which it isn't, by the way. It's sort of like a golden iridescence with some sort of like green hue to it. I don't really know how to explain it, but you guys don't have to use the shades that I use. You can always go ahead and change it out as well. This look would have been perfect with just nude, and that's literally what I wanted to do before, but because this is me, I decided to just change it last minute. And nothing is wrong, it's makeup. This allows you to really be expressive, this allows you to break boundaries, this allows you to break the norm, and that's what I did. I decided to, at the last moment, change the shade of what I was using. Primer, not been able to locate any locally, and I really find it hard to buy it online just to shoot my product. And so I do have on me my lash glue. Now the glue I chose to use because it does dry down clear, and guys, you can also use this. You can use your lash glue as your primer, but you have to also be very careful, especially where your lids crease. That can pose a problem. Alright, so laid down the glue, and I'm just using my AOA loose fine glitter in gold, and I'm just using it in the top middle portion of my eyelid. Is another trick for those who don't know, or you've not seen the video that I used the lippy as my liner. Now, makeup does allow you to take advantage of the products. Some persons will tell you cannot use this, and it's really all about marketing, and that is me being honest. You have lippies. This is what I do. I go to my local stores, and I know for sure some colors won't sell as quickly as some will. So you find that the nudes, which are now trending, and the reds will basically disappear from your shelves much quicker. And I know that colors like orange will be there, like nobody's going to purchase orange, right? Some persons will, because they are expressive. What I do is I basically go and I buy these very cheap. Like this is like literally a third of the price of what I would pay for a liner. Like it is that cheap because they want to get rid of it, right? So I buy these bright colors and I then use them as my liners. Now this does not dry down but that's not a problem. What you can do is you can actually go in with an eyeshadow that looks similar to the shade, to the lipstick shade, and you can go in and you can just lay it down. Now let me also say to you, lipstick can be used for several things. My liner, apart from lipstick lip purposes, of course, you can use it as a liner, as what I'm doing. You can use it as a color corrector, and lastly, you can use it as a blush, or even for your contour. Whatever you think you need to use it for, or whatever you think it can be used for, it can be used for it. No, not to worry if you did this and your liner is not coming out as neat as you want it to. Not a problem. You know what I'm doing here is I'm just using a foundation. You can also use a concealer, and I'm cleaning up the outside. You see that? Cleaning up the outside so I get a sharper liner, a more outstanding line, and I'm using a lighter color so it stands out better. And of course, a shade that is similar to the concealer that I would have been using anyway, to highlight my under eye area. That lash line to get it as black or darkened as possible, because you're using a lipstick and this is not matted, so it will take a time to dry down. You will find that you might just get on your lash some of that shade or some of the color. That's fine, you can go in with a black liner. It was a bit tedious, to be honest with you, but I tried it and I got as much off as possible using a mascara, which is an enemy to my eyes, by the way, because they would get red. Like, yeah, look at that, look at them eyes, they are red. Let me also use this opportunity to say my lighting was wonky here. Like, I hate this clip so much. Like, I'm talking from a place where I am so displeased with this clip because it just made the makeup and everything just look off. It was rainy outside, and I did start late on in the evening, and I don't think the ring light did what a natural light would have done for me, or better lighting. I am working on getting for myself a pair of softbox, because I've been researching and I realized, and I've been told that softboxes really helps you with getting better lighting, and I'm also considering to get a bigger ring light for more lighting as well. So yeah, and if I think this is literally the ending of, or almost the ending. But let me also tell you what I'm doing. So I'm using the two shades from the palette, in the same order. So the darker orange first, the lighter orange, and I'm just using those under eye. But they're not picking up as well on camera. As I said, the lighting was wonky, and I didn't want to waste this clip because I really wanted to show you guys everything that I'm doing as it relates to the eyes. Alright, so until we meet again, guys, there will be a part 2 series to this where I cover the foundation. Alright, and thank you guys so much. Of course, we're always keeping it beautifully flawed, and I really